G'day race fans, it's Adrian here. Welcome back to Just a Ride. Righto, we have got the 450 EXC, it's a KTM, for the unlearned. A KTM 450 EXC 2010 model. That is about to get reassembled. I have here the freshly refurbished big end bearings in the crank there. So let's have at this. I need to state that I am not a mechanic and this is not a how-to, but more of just a documentation of what I love to do. You can take from it what you want. I also have the online manual that I'm referring to as well throughout all of these procedures. So I'm not making it up as I go along. Much. Let's get back to work. Head job. You asking or giving? All right, here we've got nice drizzle. Them are two collets. Righto, let's assemble this, shall we? Can't recommend this tool enough. A valve spring compressor. Other brands are available, but this was not an expensive purchase at all, and invaluable, because without that you can't do the valve guide seals, and you can't you can't lap the valves. A few things you can't do, so it's good to have. I just take these off to the bearing shop and get them replaced for new. The gasket kit, which comes, it's one of those little alternatives, isn't it? You know, you can get a full gasket kit and you can get a full gasket kit with engine oil seal. Do that. I recommend you get the seal kit as well. There's the old one. Obviously, that'll be one of those. Back to work. fire and ice. All right, here we are. We have a case with a handful of bearings that are, old ones are out, new ones are shrinking as we speak in some dry ice. So let's get some heat into this case and drop those bearings into there. Main crank bearing with my hand. Why wouldn't you use the dry ice, people? With your bloody hand. So I've got my case splitter used in reverse, right? I'm just driving this crank into this right-hand side case. Like I said, first time I've ever used this before, so yeah, this is how you use it. But common sense tells me that, you know, I need all of that level, so I got them all Mickey Mouse the same, and I'm currently driving this crankshaft into the, seating it into the bearing in that case. I can genuinely feel it going in too. Let's have a little look-see. Yeah. Sump plugs. Trust me when I say that putting these two in is something that you don't want to watch a man do. It takes a while and there's a bit of finagling and a bit of rooting around. I'm just putting in the last of my, here we go, this is the last shift drum fork selector, ball selector, and it goes, see the recess in there? Got the drum in, and I think I've got it. You can see the bloody complexity of the shift drum. So that's the tab selector, or the fork that is now in this many recessed shifter column. Lovely. Yep, lovely. Spring has located. Okay, that seems to be the transmission back together. So the right half case there is all put together, ready for the left-hand marriage. And I have smeared Vegemite all over the edges there, and got a bit of grease in the working surfaces. Let's marry these two together, shall we? All right, she's back vertical now on the little fabricated stand.
This is the relatively new acquisition, guys. Got this really to serve purpose for the e-bike, but anything sort of under sort of 15 foot-pound, the maximum of that. Yeah, it's nice little torque wrench. So even if it isn't at exactly 10 foot-pounds, at least all of the casing bolts are the same, whichever torquage it is. Alrighty, main drive is on the crank there, and I just want to bring to your attention that. Is that a little dot there? That's a mark I'm going to marry up to the gear that goes on the counterbalance. So that's now loose. I'll throw some Loctite on that and get that tightened up. All right, power up. That's tight. Ow. And there was a little squeeze of Loctite on that thread too. So that's in there. All right, oil pumps. Let's have a wee look. So I got my 2 oil pumps in and capped. Just throwing a bit of Loctite on some of these, internal fastenings that I really don't want to come loose and be bobbling around in there. So up to tension there. Now I'm just going to stick the idlers, the gears, on these cogs and start connecting this ungodly thing together. Oh yeah, and with obviously in some of these internal fastenings that are getting Loctite on them, everything when it goes together is getting a good watch yourself, a good spread of oil, of lubricant. It cannot hurt, right? Especially these oil pumps. I saturated the internals of those before those caps went on with this stuff, which is oil. Yes. Can't tell you how much I rate just the simple bloody sandwich bag with a bit of information on it, because you could just imagine, look at the things that have come out of that bag. How easy, all right, these might be a little bit hard to lose, but pretty easy to lose that guy and where was it? Oh, I really needed that. So just hang on, gotta get this out now. Just bag stuff up, guys, and keep it neat and keep it clean. Happy days. Back to work. So I got my 2 idlers on my oil pump. Got my counterbalance shaft on. That little dot in there. There is a corresponding mark. Corresponding mark, you can see it there. I want to roll it on through and that marries up. Trust me, looks a bit weird on the camera angle there, but it does. So shift drum all sorted. This is where I'm gonna be straight, guys. This is where I go back to the pictures that I took of the bike when I was taking it apart, just to make sure that I'm ridgy-dig. And obviously I've done that and I'm happy to move on. All right, whatever the manual says next, back to work. And computer says it's the Kickstarter next. So I'll chuck that on with the idle gear. Boom, boom, boom. All the connections are gonna start coming together soon. Okay, Kickstarter in. The next, which should be the last piece, to connect all of these gears together and the engine should turn. And that is the electronic start which is just mounted off here. There's the wee little hole through the case that the electric start drives said gear, boom, 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 into life. All right, let's make this thing hopefully turn around. All right. Take a bit of that, over there. All right, collar facing the case. Lovely. You have a washer. Rightio. Click. That's up to torque. Well, we have drive there. As you obviously were well aware, it's about time that you start stuffing your bloody orifices, because you don't want stuff's falling in your bloody orifices at this stage. So that's a plugged hole, and that looks like a bit of a motor, doesn't it? So the clutch basket going there now. Clutch bastard. What'd you call me? Clutch basket. Next thing to go on. Can't hurt any of it. Okay, I've got my counterbalance weight on there, but that is not tight. I'll cinch that up and bend the tabs over. And in here is all of this stuff. The ignition pulse generator, cam chain, obviously that's got to go on there before this guy goes over the top and renders that workspace almost redundant. These are the cam chain guides as well. Let's put it together, shall we? Turn it like you mean it. That one's officially tight. So the update is a bit of a stall here. Trying to get this big bloody piston into this barrel with it connected to the conrod already, which is a direct contrast to what the workshop manual suggests, that you have the barrel here on the bench and put the piston in the barrel, and then put this all in, put the wrist pin through here, and then clip it up. But I just could not, for the life of me, after trying for a long time, to get that little, that clip in there sorted with the barrel in place. So I sucked it up and had to take the barrel away, worked with just the piston on the conrod, got that on. So like I said, I'm contradicting the workshop manual, but I really struggled to get that little circular clip in to the wrist pin on the piston with the barrel impeding me. So that's on. I just now have to work the pinching the rings of the piston and slide this on, which is a really easy sentence to say and a hard thing to do. Back to work. So I got the barrel on. This has been days, guys. I've been days on this, trying to assemble the head of this thing. So in a nutshell, the workshop manual, which was telling me to put the piston in the cylinder on the bench and then bring it up to the conrod, put the wrist pin through and put the little circular clip on the other side of that piston wrist pin. I've never done it that way, and it was this engine that's made me do it the right way. Just one big stonking bloody piston. It was so hard to have. So I was piston on the conrod and I'm trying to squeeze the rings together and drop the barrel down over that, and it was just too hard and you needed too many hands. So I had to suck it up and took the piston back off, put the barrel on the bench, put the piston in the barrel, which was a lot easier to do, and then onto the conrod it goes.
wrap a towel around the open exposed bits of that engine, because that circular clip, when you don't get it right, that ding goes across the room. Luckily I didn't lose it, and it's in, and I got all excited, and I got the head on, and I'm literally just cinching down my 4 Allen key bolts. As you can remember, when I was taking this thing apart, I had a foot on the bench and it was getting wild. So I'm going to remedy that. This thing ain't moving when I'm swinging off that thing with a torque wrench. Back to work. Swing away, Merrill. There you go, 50 pounds. So I incrementally stepped it from 10 foot-pounds to 30 foot-pounds to 50. We're good. And those 2 screws I put in the table to hold this thing together helped immensely. There we go. Okay. Rocker arms or tappets in. Yes. And the old camshaft is gonna go in here and do its thing. So I have my valve tappets in, rocker arms, tappets, whatever you want to call them, the things that actuate the valve. Obviously, there's my cam chain. That's where the cam's gonna go. Camshaft, mark where camshaft is going to go, a mark. The engine is in top dead center. Just to make double reference, I even marked my top dead center, and that was easy enough to ascertain before I put that on, and I could see the piston at top dead center. Everything comes off of this is the foundation that you're building this bloody thing from, and it's not terribly hard. You just, like I said, you're matching up that little dot with that little dot, and you're good to go. That's free and moving, yes. Okay, so it's in there and the dots are lined up. I just now need to throw the chain over it and then put the chain, the cam chain tensioner in there. And sometimes you need to sort of at least start this chain on the cog and then actually pull the rest of the shaft out to get it on. That looks like it needs to be there. Oh, I think I went one tooth too many. Let's have a look. So the chain is on, and it is nowhere near. It's a couple of teeth. There you go. Let's have a look at that. That's money. And the chain gets tension from that side. It doesn't. Let's just check that.
Yep. All right, my dot's on the camshaft and my dot on the little bridge there. This guy now holds my camshaft in position. Slides into that little recess on the shaft. I said it'd slide into the little recess on the shaft. You bastard. There you go. Comes in from this side with a little 8mm. Nice. All right, let's get this cam chain tensioner in there. And then I'll cycle the engine around to see what it, see how it likes it. Take that. And head bolts. I'll just put that over there and I'll lay those two things down. Fantastic. Let's have a check. My marks are still in position now that there's tension. Dead center. Excellent. Probably get some side covers and stuff on this now. Yeah, so that the timing stuff it's not all that complex. Like I said, you got to start from top dead center. There's always going to be marks on engines, but of course, the workshop manual is the Bible, and the workshop manual tells me this. But even before I read it, it makes sense. Dot dot. Top dead center, sweet as a nut. Hello, magnet. There you go. Lovely. Just put a new KTM filter in it. That's better. All right, start a motor. Going back in. You got a motor. Final piece of the puzzle.
time.